Video presentation for answers to 2015 GCE level section B question 10. This is a 10-mark question and you should allot about 15 minutes for this question. So let's look at the question first. This is a question on metal reactivity and metal extraction. We'll read the question first. Metal can be placed in the reactivity series. Although carbon is a non-metal, it can also be placed in the reactivity series. It is placed between magnesium and lead. Part A. Metals are extracted in many different ways. Use the reactivity series with examples to explain the following. Part 1. Some metals can occur in the ground as uncombined metal. The keyword is uncombined. So this would be the answer. Metals that are unreactive with the surrounding substance are often found as uncombined metals in the ground. So we explain why the metal is uncombined, because they are unreactive with the surrounding substance such as air and water. Examples are gold and platinum, which are the least reactive metals on Earth. Part 2. Several metals occur as oxides. The metal can be extracted from some of these oxides by heating with carbon. For other oxides, this method cannot be used. So if you think back on your lesson, there are two methods that we have taught you. One is heating with carbon and the other one would be electrolysis. So we have to answer both parts. Metals that are lower than carbon in the metal reactivity series, such as zinc, iron, lead and copper, can be extracted from the oxides by heating with carbon. This is part 1 of the answer. Part 2. This method of extraction cannot be used for metals that are higher than carbon in the metal reactivity series, such as magnesium and aluminium. For such metals, they can only be extracted by electrolysis. Part B question. Iron and calcium require different conditions to react with water. By referring to these reaction conditions, justify the relative positions of iron and calcium in the reactivity series. To justify means you must show by examples of metals reaction with water, and then to prove that from these observations of reactions, prove that calcium is higher in the reactivity series than iron. Okay, this is how it goes. Calcium reacts readily with cold water, while iron does not react with cold water or hot water. This indicates that calcium is more reactive than iron, and hence calcium is placed higher than iron in the metal reactivity series. The last part, write a balanced chemical equation for one of the reactions you described in B part 1. So in B part 1, you have written that calcium only can react with the cold water. So there's a chemical equation to be written for calcium reaction with cold water. So this is how you write. Okay. Calcium reacts with water to form calcium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Calcium, being a metal higher up in the metal reactivity series, will produce the hydroxide instead of the oxide. Okay, take note when writing equation, you must write the correct symbol or formula, correct state symbol, and also to balance the equation. If the question does not ask for state symbol, you do not need to write down the state symbol. But if the question asks you for the state symbol, it is compulsory for you to do so. Okay, end of presentation.